Alright guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Heather's Healthy Cooking. This week we're going to do salsa. I got the idea from Amy because she was talking about a salsa that she makes for her husband, and I thought it would also be good healthy snack for Super Bowl coming up next weekend. So I'm just going to be adding a bunch of vegetables, also some beans, making the tortilla chips from scratch. Well, not actually scratch because I didn't make the tortillas, but so they're a little healthier, and also adding some chicken to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the chicken in the skillet, and then I'm just going to chop everything for the salsa and put it together. So season my chicken breasts just a little bit. And also, another thing, if you have a food processor, most of the chopping that I'm going to be doing, you can just put, oh, I need to put some oil in that skillet. I'm getting a little lax in my cooking skills. Here's the oil. It's going in the skillet. Hopefully the fire alarm doesn't go off. Alright, so I'm going to turn that down. That's obviously a little too high, a little smoky in here. Alright, now I'm going to start on my guacamole. I said salsa earlier. I'm actually making guacamole. So I'm adding corn and black beans to it. So all I'm going to do right now is open up the corn, put it in a colander with the beans. I'm using lots of beans because I like beans. They're very healthy for you. They're very good for your digestive system. Some of the effects people aren't very fond of, but it just means that they're working, they're doing their job. Just make sure you don't eat this on a first date. So I'm just going to rinse those off, let those sit there while I chop my stuff. So first thing, I'm going to start with the onion. Once again, onion, the stem end and the root end. Cut the stem end off, keep the root end on. If you were using a food processor, you can just simply cut this in half, take the peel off, and then cut the stem end off, or the root end, excuse me, and put it in your food processor and chop it up. So once again, just make those horizontal slices, the slices along with the limes and the onions, and then go the opposite way. And I'm using a Vidalia onion because they're just a little bit sweeter, and I like the little bit of sweetness in my salsa or in my guacamole. You can use yellow onions, white onions, whatever you prefer. That's what's kind of nice about salsas and guacamoles. You can add pretty much whatever you like. Make them however hot you want. Alright, take that, put it in a bowl. Now I'm going to move on to the tomatoes. And with the tomatoes, the inside with all the seeds and stuff you don't want. So I had a spoon here. Oh, here it is. So I'm just going to scoop out all this inside, because the texture isn't very good, and it's usually the part of the tomato that people don't like because it's kind of a mushy texture. So just kind of take a spoon, scoop out that stuff. And then with these, you can make it however big you want. So I'm just making slices, and then I'm going to go over them like this. So this is like a medium dice. And as you can see, when I'm cutting, I'm keeping the tip down and then moving forward. And that way you're not cutting towards yourself, so if you slip, it won't stab you and kill you, which is not fun. You don't want your obituary to say that you died in a guacamole accident. Or maybe you do. I think it would be kind of cool. So chop all these up, put them in here. Got 3 more to cut. Now I'm going to put in a green pepper. You can also put in red peppers, yellow peppers. Red peppers and yellow peppers are a little sweet again. So I'm just cutting out the core there. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the tomato. Make just kind of medium dice. And this just gives it a little bit of extra crunch to it, which is nice. More vegetables, which always good for you. And this is, I love salsa, and I think it's an easy way to get your vegetables in. So next thing I'm going to add is my garlic and my jalapeno. So put this in with the rest of my stuff. I'm going to break off 2 cloves of garlic. I like it. I like garlic a lot, so I'm going to use 2 cloves. You can use how many ever you want. Also, you can use garlic powder. I like the fresh garlic. I think it tastes better and fresher. Next week, I am going to be making a breakfast item. Kaylee said that she suggested that I make something for breakfast, and it's kind of one of those meals that a lot of us don't get because we don't have time. So I'm making breakfast bars. So with the jalapeno, the hot or spicy part is this part in the seeds. So you want to get all that part out because it's hot enough with just the regular part. And the seeds and the veins or pith are just a little too spicy. and it kind of takes away from the flavor. Most of the time when people eat something that's super, super, super spicy, they're not doing it for the flavor. They're doing it to sound cool. So we're doing it for the flavor. And you want to, like with the garlic, you want to cut this up pretty small because once again, it's very strong. I'm getting some of the vapors in my throat right now. And also you want to make sure and wash your hands after you handle any hot pepper. I have a story from my high school science teacher, and I won't go into the details, but he was making some salsa and then went to the bathroom without washing his hands. And you just think about how that felt. So always wash your hands after you've handled something hot. And if you do happen to burn yourself, milk or yogurt works really well to soothe the pain. So now I'm going to cut up the avocado, so I'm just going to cut it in half. Okay. So how I do this is I just make little cuts like this, going horizontally, and then, or vertically and then horizontally. And then what you do is you just kind of take your thumb and slide the